Hey friends, good morning. Welcome back to My Conversation right here on KAIL-TV, My Central Valley. It is Monday. Hope you're having a fantastic morning so far and you had a great weekend. Happy June, too. Can't believe June is already here. Hey, coming up next, my studio audience today, please give it up for my second guest of the show, Rico from Rico's Memorial Stones in Fresno, California, and serving the Central San Joaquin Valley. What's up, man?
All right, how you doing?
Good morning. Very good. Very good. How are you?
Just fine. Happy to be here with you. It's a great Monday morning.
It's a great Monday morning. You're a first-time guest here on My Conversation. Rico's Memorial Stones.
Right.
Give everybody the background.
Well, it's a company that I started about 5 years ago. After my mom passed away, I seen how expensive and how much this industry needed a little bit more care and attention and more customizing headstones. So I said, you know what, I think I'm going to give this a shot. And I already had a background in photography, graphic designing that I did for about 12 years here in the Central Valley. I probably shot about 800 weddings, quinceañeras, special events, birthdays. So I already had the background in graphic designing, Photoshop, Illustrator, running CNC machines, and it all pretty much fell into the same categories. I started out of my garage like most big companies do.
Yeah.
I was just selling and creating, designing there, and then I had a production shop making the stones for me. And I was there for about a year, and then I called one of my best friends, David Glass. Me and him were in the Army together in Germany.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. And
Memorial
I called
Day was
them.
just last week.
Yeah, it was a great honor for all those fallen soldiers that served to defend our freedom here.
Sure
And
is.
me being overseas, I learned all about all that, firsthand. So I called him, and he had been working at Ford for 27 years, and he already had paid off his house, and he was looking at maybe retiring already. And he said, you know what, Rico, you called me right on time. I need change.
Wow.
So he came over here, and he took a 10-day leave, watched what I was doing. He went back to Detroit. He was from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, wow. Far from
sold
Fresno.
his house, quit his job, and he joined me. We partnered up.
Really?
And I incorporated the company, and me and him went at it. And, 4 years later, we spent 4 years on McKinley and Chestnut in an industrial park out there, doing it there. And last year in November, Pickett & Sons built us a custom building right there at the Hydro Park, which is on Brawley, between Ashland and Shaw, and 5,000 square foot shop. And we got new machines. We set everything up. Within 3 weeks, we started producing again. We were only down for about 3 weeks without production, but it's been phenomenal. I mean, the rapport we're getting from our clients and the work we're doing, it's pretty much selling itself.
So realistically, you've been doing this for 5 years now.
5 short, and in headstone business, that's pretty short, because most of them are 2-3 generation families, that are doing it. And we started this from ground zero, from a garage. Started from ground zero, and I plan on keeping this corporation going for quite a while. And it's like I said, the rapport we're getting and the work we're putting out, it's certainly helping, because our reviews are great. Our clients love our work. We treat everybody, with love and respect.
It's a hard time.
Absolutely. I went from one of the happiest days of your lives, which was your wedding, to the other side of the spectrum, to one of the saddest days of your life. But I had all that experience of dealing with people and clientele and loved ones that it certainly helped a lot for me to blend right into doing this.
So as far as, you were telling me earlier just about, when you were at your mother's funeral.
Yes, sir.
And you heard how expensive a memorial stone is.
Right.
How expensive are they?
Well, when we did hers, it was 16 by 28 stone with 2 photos, and it came out to $2,800 installed. We produced the same memorial for about $1,600. So it's almost half the price, and the quality is even better. I feel that the design work we do now can't be really matched as far as what they did for us. And we actually do all the work here in-house here in Fresno, so that
you're not
makes
shipping it somewhere
right. There's no third party. You come, you see us, you deal with us, and we actually create and produce the memorial while you're watching on a big screen, the artist is creating it for you, so you have total input on how it's going to come out.
You could change things.
Absolutely. So we don't produce anything until the proof is done and we get a signature, them saying, okay, Rico, this is how we want it. Yeah. So there's hardly ever any mistakes on there, any spelling, any years, dates, because we even let them take it home and, you know, think about it, let them look it over, make sure that everything's correct before we do it, or maybe another family member that couldn't make it has to see it. We also give it to them in a digital format so they could text it and email it amongst themselves.
We're looking at a picture right now, and this is one of the memorial stones that you did. That's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, it really looks...
That's an upright standing headstone that's here locally in Fresno. It's a young man that tragically lost his life, and the mother wanted more than one photo of him, so we did a collage and we did multiple images of the young man, and we did front and back. The back, we did some artwork on it also. And stones like that we're doing on a daily basis. You know, it's catching on where we're able to tell a story now. It's not just a name and date anymore. It's we're putting a story on the headstone.
See that, and that's a big change compared to 20 years ago.
Right. Before it was just the heading and then the dates and maybe a few words of wisdom, and that's about it.
We're going to take a quick break. Coming up on the other side of the break, Rico is going to join us again. We're going to talk more a little bit about what makes your company different than the other local companies here in Fresno. Okay?
Okay, not a problem.
Stick around. You stick around too. You're watching My Conversation right here on KAIL-TV, My Central Valley. Hey, welcome back to My Conversation on this Monday morning. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Austin Reed, for today. Hope you had a great weekend. Hey, we are continuing our conversation with Rico from Rico's Memorial Stones. My studio audience still here with us. Give him another nice round of applause. Hey, so earlier we were talking just a little background about Rico's Memorial Stones and kind of how you got into it. And you've been around for 5 years now. Serving the Central Valley. You have a brand new location. If our viewers are just tuning in now, you want to do a little synopsis of you know what you guys do and how you serve?
We're in the memorial and headstone business. We create and produce custom works of art for loved ones that have passed. And the difference between us and what I've seen, because I went out in the market and I seen what was out there, what they offered. First of all, the facilities, or most of them, are pretty small facilities. It's a mom and pop operation that's been handed down from generation to generation. There's a few new ones and upcoming. You know, people are seeing and feeling they want to change. It's more about the art now of creating a headstone. It's not just a name and number on a headstone, you know, on a piece of stone. We're telling stories like we talked about a little bit. And we mastered that by the fact that we create the stone while you're in our studio, and we project it on a big screen, and you're sitting with us, with our designers, and we have 3 design stations. So we've had 3 families in there at the same time, and there's 3 of us in there that can design while you're sitting next to us there, putting your input into it, you know, and that's hard to do. It's almost like doing interviews or stuff like that. You got to be able to do it while they're there.
Focus and
people love it. I mean, because they have total input. We have very limited error. There has been some error because they get the dates wrong, but we go out of our way, you know, to try and make it right and correct it. And if we have to redo a stone, we do a stone and keep it to a minimum on cost for everyone.
Now, you know, another thing we were talking about in our last segment was just, you know, now that we're in 2017, you are really taking advantage of new technology.
Yes, sir. We run laser machines that we produce the stone there on location. We have a big window where you could watch as we're doing the work in our facility. And our suppliers on several occasions have already mentioned to me that we're the fastest growing headstone business they have ever seen. You know, we started off, like I started off 5 years ago out of my garage, and now we're producing 80 to 100 stones a month, and they're all custom designed. This is not a cookie cutter operation where you pick out of a book and say, okay, I want that one. We design every stone for you. Some of them look the same, but there's always changes on them, you know.
We were just looking at that last one. My director, Bobby, could you bring that one up again by chance? Just the last one that we just saw. That's different.
Yes, that's actually a combination marble statue of an angel with a teardrop granite headstone on the background, and that's a big one. That took up a couple of plots. That's a companion marker, which is for the husband and wife. The husband passed away, and the wife is still alive, but her information's on there. And when her time comes, all we have to do is go and engrave her final date on location. We don't have to move the monument anymore. And that was a big one. Those are costly, and we do quite a bit of custom works like that. We've done quite a few. We actually did one inside the VA hospital. I don't know if you ever go in the VA hospital, the new atrium they built in there.
I haven't been in
memorial in there.
Since that.
Yeah, we did that about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And that's another beautiful work of art that we put together. We did
so you guys did that
it's a whole atrium inside, and we did all the granite work in there, and there's a big monument in there.
How'd you get that project?
Well, being that I'm a veteran, and they did some research, they had other companies that were trying to accomplish it, and they dropped the ball on it, and they needed it done within 2 months, and we accomplished that one in 45 days. Believe it or not, the guys found me on Facebook.
Facebook's
they
amazing.
Googled it up, and it came out on Facebook, and that's how we got that job.
Incredible, incredible. Okay, we got a couple more minutes left. You know, when you're working with the families,
yes.
Is it, you know, you have to have obviously compassion, and how do you guys, you know, do you work that in?
We certainly do, because every family, every person handles death a little bit different, you know, and you have to keep open mind when they come in, how they're going to handle it. Some of them are, you know, the loved one had a natural passing, they lived a long life, and those are the ones that go pretty smooth. It's the tragic ones, you know, the murders and the suicides and stuff like that, that the families really handle it real hard. You know, in the first couple of years, I gotta admit, it was hard for me to adjust, because, you know, I have 5 kids, and then a lot of people coming in, their children have passed, you know, and they get you emotional, because you realize that time is short here on earth. You know, you have to spend more time with your loved ones, and especially your kids, and let them know how much you love them. And it actually brought me closer to my kids because of that. You know, it helped quite a bit, because, you know, at first I was always working. I'm a workaholic. Now I try to spend and do more time with them, you know. So it helps in a lot of ways, but you see a lot of different emotion. You see families that are great together, and then some families have problems, but you just got to stay balanced, and respect what they want, and keep them as comfortable as you can.
Work with them. Now, and like you were saying though, with the memorial stone, that is something that you can really, you know, like you said, you're telling a story, and with the pictures, and you know.
Right. It's almost like their final closure to the whole ordeal of a loved one passing. This is the final statement. This is what's going to be their last forever. Yes, you can replace them, but most of them that come to create, they come with the intention of doing something that's permanent, it's final. This is how we feel about our loved one.
Just a few seconds left. Phone number, website, how can people get in touch with you?
Quite easily on Facebook under Rico's Memorial Stones. Our website is ricosmemorialstones.com. Our phone number is 559-251-1277. We're located at 4110 North Brawley, which is right between Ashland and Shaw at the Hydro Park, corner of Swift and Brawley.
We're going to give you one more round of applause. Your third one today. Thank you so much for sticking with us.
You're welcome.
Great information, man.
Thank you.
Come on back, okay?
I certainly will.
All right, Rico's from Rico's Memorial Stones in Fresno. We'll come on back in just a couple of minutes with final word after this.